This is an interesting one. You might want to tune in for this one. Our friends over there at St. Croix, specifically my buddy Ryan Teach over there, has been paying attention to what's going on, probably more than most, with the whole forward-facing sonar world. And I kind of reported to him a ways back that I was seeing a trend from the JDM side of things of shorter rods, more extreme actions in the tip, but like shorter, lighter powered rods for imparting all the minnow shaking techniques, however you want to say it, strolling, pinging a minnow. The shorter rods were shining. So he is making an attempt at attacking that side of the market with these Physyx rods. The St. Croix team over there designed these specifically for scoping, and they feel like a little conductor's wand. They are rear weighted. I'm telling you that because this thing came in at 5.2 ounces, but I kid you not, you can't feel any of the rod up above your hand. Like, it feels insanely light compared to the weight there because of the way they've rear weighted this, and that's on purpose. So I can feel every little bit of that movement of my bait even away from the boat, and I can feel that every little bite I get because I'm going to be paying attention to that graph the whole time, and I can just impart action on the baits with this short little conducting rod, if you may. This model here is a 6.6 medium light fast. The other two are 6.3s. Now I do want to mention the fact that these are prototype rods. These are rods that we got to play with here because this was something we saw going on in the marketplace, that the American manufacturers were kind of going the other way, longer rods for this. Where the JDM anglers, the Japanese anglers that are really having a lot of success with this technique, are going shorter. So these are not available yet. They're not on the market yet, but they will be. They're coming out. I'm hoping to see them by the end of the summer. So if the pages are up when you see this, you can certainly sign up for your notifications and let us know what you think. We'll let you know when they come in stock. But we're going to bend these on the wall and see what St. Croix is thinking here when it comes to scoping rods, JDM style. I'm here with this St. Croix Physyx, really unique rod. Like I said before, these are not out yet. Probably when you see this, they're still going to be not produced yet. This is some of very few live ones out in the wild that people are fishing with and trying this with, and they're coming back, honestly, with some really rave reviews. Shorter scoping rods. Let's check out this 6.6 medium light fast. And yeah, you got exactly what it is, fast action, traditional St. Croix fast action there. This thing is way more powerful than it feels in your hand without any line on it or being hooked up. And this thing is light. I mean, the tip on it weighs absolutely nothing because, as I mentioned before, the rear grip here is rear weighted. So it's designed to be fished while you're staring at your graph and give you no fatigue with that tip up in the air and shaking it like crazy. Home run on that side of things. This thing does feel weightless out there in front of you. So if you're looking to feel what's going on with the minnow out there 50 feet, 10 feet down in the water column, trying to shake it above some fish that are down 30 feet down the water column, this is ideal for that situation. Hence why they're trying this. I would say action on this thing is just as delivered. It's certainly pulling back on me right away, like 4 guides down on there, 5 guides down, I should say, is kind of where it's shutting off. So even with this lighter powered rod where you're going to run really thin line, a light lure, a little minnow, you can still get backbone in them and set the hook and get them away maybe from the top of a brush pile or something like that. Interesting so far. The 6.6 to me right now is my favorite, but I haven't bent the other two yet. So let's go try the even shorter ones, the 6.3s and the Physyx scoping rods. Here we are with another one of the scoping models from St. Croix. I'd like to call them our Wisconsin-made JDM rods. These things are wild. They're definitely causing a commotion here in the warehouse as we're bending these and talking about them, because this one felt insanely lightweight in hand with a reel on it. Obviously, there's no weight out in front of the rod at all. It's rear weighted again. Surprisingly, it came in at 4.9 ounces, which doesn't feel right. Something feels amiss because it doesn't feel, these things feel insanely light, and it's because they're rear weighted. Once you got a reel on it, you don't feel the front half of this rod at all. It's gonna be extremely sensitive, like I stated before. This one feels as advertised, extra fast with just line on it right here, but that's why we got the wall, like I said. So let's go bend in one of these, the 6.3 medium extra fast Wisconsin JDM rod. All right, 6.3 extra fast scope and pole here in the Physyx lineup. I know most of you who are watching this are probably familiar already with what this series of rods was, the Physyx rods. Carbon handles. These are carbon fiber handles. Honestly, they're very comfortable if you're a forward gripper. I really like the way they did the handle on this. I actually own one of the spinning rods already. The blank is really what getting overlooked because of the whole handle thing here. This is SE4 Plus technology, which is a blend of St. Croix carbon fibers. So they have very durable carbon fibers in the rear section, really wild actions to them. They're able to achieve more extreme actions and get the weights down on the rods and still keep the durability of the rods up. This one here being a 6.3 medium extra fast that's a popular size, length, and action for a walleye angler, not so much for a bass angler. As we bend the rod here, I would say true to form, this is an extra fast. The tip's even lighter in this one, even though it's a medium power rod, than it was in that 6.6 fast I was bending. The very tip section feels lighter. So even though as I bend it, we get into the backbone, it looks fast, doesn't look like extra fast. I'm kid you not, that very end tip section is like a rod of its own down there. This is exactly what you probably want for that staring at your screen and just shaking your rod there over suspended fish. This one's small, it's 6.3. I've got some buddies right now out there fishing with these 6.3 medium extra fasts, and it has been, to them, kind of a game changer. It's no fatigue, very sensitive, and it's working. So kudos to St. Croix for trying something outside of the typical wheelhouse of a bass angler. I'm impressed so far. I'm gonna go ahead and bend the 6.3 medium light extra fast, see how that one does. Okay, I haven't even bent this one yet, and this one's been my favorite by a long shot so far. And I got backed up by the other guys here, but we haven't put it on the wall yet. Haven't bent it, I promise. Biggest surprise of the bunch though. This one feels the lightest, because it is the lightest, right? This is a 6.3 medium light extra fast. Remember we had a 6.6 light or medium light fast, not extra fast, a 6.3 medium extra fast, and now this is a 6.3 medium light extra fast. This one feels the most like some of the blanks, and the blank diameter looks the most similar to the blanks that I was seeing over in Japan for a lot of the rod manufacturers making rods for this specific technique of scoping, pinging a minnow there. This one absolutely feels insane because there's just nothing above the handle there. It feels like there's just nothing there. Like even when you just take the line and bend it, you can feel the line pulling in the guides. Like it's insanely sensitive. It's really cool. It came in at 5.1 ounces though. Like this thing is rear weighted in the handle. It makes no sense, but it's weighted perfectly so that this thing's just, as I keep repeating, but I can't stress it enough. The idea behind this is this thing's should be up while you're shaking your minnow like that and giving you zero fatigue at all. Like there's zero weight out there giving your wrist and your hand and your arm some fatigue out there. So let's go bend this one and see how this thing does. It's like I said, it's a 6.3 medium light extra fast. This thing is rated in the 1/16 to 3/8 ounce. So you could really, if you think of all the scoping jigs that are out there, probably get away with almost all your scoping techniques, jig heads and minnows that are out there, most of them anyway, with this rod. And I'll tell you what, so far holding it, this one does seem like the superstar, but let's go bend it and find out. All right, 6.3 medium light extra fast, St. Croix Physyx rod. As I mentioned before, this is their SE4 Plus graphite, which is a really high-end carbon fiber blend. And you've got a carbon fiber handle here. You've got a weighted rear section of the rod. So it's coming in at weights that would surprise you, but it's feeling super wild out in front. I'm kind of happy they did that. It's making sometimes a little bit of this, if you guys can imagine, you can get monotonous, kind of bending things, just looking for actions. This rod feels completely alien to a lot of the stuff I've been playing with lately. So thanks, St. Croix, for giving us a little excitement here on the wall. Tip on this thing is insanely light. I'm putting like no pressure on it, and I can get the tip to bend on it. It is absolutely extra fast. It's starting to shut off on me. Honestly, it's really pulling back at about that fourth guide down there. Obviously, you can get into the backbone if you really load into the thing. Pull it back down there. That's where you start seeing the medium light side of it come in. So you could get away with running maybe, if you want to try 5-pound test, something like that, get down light line on this thing. This would be the rod you could do it with. The tip is telling the story there of what this thing would be wild for. If you wanted to impart that rolling action and not move the minnow through the water column, this one would be a hero for that for sure. You might be a little scared if you're fishing around some really big fish, or if you're fishing above brush piles, hence that medium power extra fast there. But the 2 6.3s so far, to me, have been super impressive. I was impressed with the 6.6 as well, don't get me wrong, but this one right here feels like what you're seeing the Japanese anglers using. This is what I was feeling when I was over there. A wildly fast, extra fast tip up there, and an insanely lightweight, super sensitive rod with some backbone. I mean, this is no slouch by any means. It's just not as powerful as you can imagine the medium was. So I don't know. I do see why you'd want to have both, right? If you were doing this for money and I was fishing around largemouth and I was using maybe that Horizon head with that LG version, which is the bigger wide gap hook in it, maybe you're going to want to go to that medium for that. If you're using the smaller little jig heads, the little light wire hooks, this is your rod. This one here feels like an absolute home run. It feels super light. I am very intrigued by how much weight's back here to get this thing just completely weightless up above you. It really does make a lot of sense the more I'm holding it. So next step, let's go fishing with it. Stay tuned for more rod bends. Let us know in the comments what you'd like to see from us next.